Good afternoon. I'm Rocky Capozzi on behalf of Alaska Public Media and the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation. Welcome to Hangar Flying. Our guest this afternoon is retired UAA professor Michael Buckland. Michael served as a designated pilot examiner for 25 years. He has about 12,000 flight hours, and about 2,000 of those hours are in seaplanes. He holds an airline transport pilot rating for both helicopters and airplanes. And at one time, Michael taught for American Airlines Flight Academy. Today we want to talk about aviation safety. Now, Michael, aviation safety is a pretty broad topic, and it's hard to cover a lot in 6 minutes, but do you have any hip pocket flight safety rules that you try to live by?
Yes, I do, Rocky. I think you can sum up aviation safety in 3 basic rules. One is don't hit nothing. 2, don't run out of gas or you are about to hit something. And 3, if you're that determined to hit something, try and find something soft and cheap to hit.
Okay. So obviously the Federal Aviation Administration governs the way we operate airplanes. Do you, in your estimation, do the FARs keep us safe?
The aviation regulations are important and are useful, but regulations themselves never increase safety. What increases safety, Rocky, is compliance with regulation. And that's what good FAA inspectors are always focused on, is trying to create a culture of compliance. That's what good companies and good pilots are about, is seeking to do what's wise and do what's right.
Okay. So what are some of the hazardous attitudes that tend to result in accidents?
There's been a lot of really interesting scientific research to establish what kind of attitudes put people at crash sites. 5 of the standard attitudes that are a problem. And interesting enough, they cause not only airplane wrecks, but they cause life wrecks. I've seen aviators wipe out useful, promising careers because of these. The first would be anti-authority, people who feel that no one can tell them what to do. Another would be impulsivity. It's kind of, hey baby, let's go to Vegas with an airplane. And if you make impulsive decisions that are poorly thought through, bad things tend to happen. Another would be invulnerability, people who feel that bad things really aren't going to happen to them, just to the other person. Therefore, they can push the weather or push loading really excessively. Another is resignation. And that is essentially just being passive and deciding that you can't influence the outcome of things. Lastly, you have what they call macho, and that amounts to proving things with an airplane. I like to call it testosterone poisoning. And testosterone poisoning tends to result in what I'd call the rectocranial inversionary effect. And that has produced quite a few bad accidents over the years in Alaska and elsewhere.
So Mike, general aviation accident rates steadily declined over a period of many decades, but the decline seems to have stagnated in the last 10 years. In your opinion, has the GA accident rate reached the lowest level we can reasonably expect?
No, I believe that by making good aeronautical decisions, we could probably cut it in half still. One of the reasons that it has declined, other than people being better trained and perhaps more judicious, is simply that there's less flying going on as flying has become more and more expensive.
But when we talk about rates, we're actually talking about numbers of accidents per 100,000 flying hours. In GA.
We are, and the problem is for 135 and 121 revenue operations, we have extremely detailed information, but for 91 we do rough estimates because there are no really good statistics.
I see. So one of the big movers for accident reduction in Part 121, 135 has been the topic or the practice of crew resource management. How does that apply to a single piloted GA airplane? Or do the principles apply?
Crew resource management has made just revolutionary changes in airline safety. U.S. air carriers operating under major air carriers under Part 121 of the FARs. The last time they killed a passenger, Rocky, was February 9, 2009, Colgan, New York, where 50 people died. That now is over 100 million scheduled U.S. air carrier flights without a single passenger killed. It's remarkably, virtually superhuman safe. And when you're flying alone, you can use some of the same principles because you're never really alone. You have voices in the cockpit with you of the instructors that taught you to fly, of other pilots you've learned from. So we should always be listening to those other voices.
Yep, I agree. So real quickly here, we got about 30 seconds. We've all memorized ceiling and visibility requirements for different classes of airspace. Are
But they're not
they
equal.
equivalent?
You hear about them together, but no, visibility is much more important to safety than ceiling, although both certainly are important. Also, with weight and balance, the balance can be much more important than the weight, although both certainly matter.
Okay, well, it's been great talking to you again this afternoon. We hope to see you again for a future session. Good afternoon and blue skies and tailwinds to all our viewers.